This is Seymour Rocks reporting from Down Under. This is my second attempt at recording this. Even before I tried recording it, I did wonder that if I made this movie, whether it would survive YouTube's community standards. But as it happened on my other computer, QuickTime, which I used to record, yet once again is failing, and I will test to see later on if I try and do something totally unconnected, whether the same will happen again. I doubt it. I was going to do this with some videos that I found inspiring. However, I can't do this on this system, and I don't really have the energy. So this is just more of my own kind of reflections on things. So I wish to take a slightly different tack today and give my response to the news rather than report it. In fact, actually, I'm not even going to be doing that. As such, it is more about myself. In fact, it's mostly about myself. It's increasingly difficult every day for me to formulate my thoughts, and I can only do so for short bursts of time. I used to wake up not so long ago with a fire in my belly and a need to report on events urgently. And now I feel very differently. Because of inertia, I still do what I have done every morning on a waking up for 8 years, and I collect all the worst news in the world and try to make sense of it and to present it. However, my ability to do so is fading away with what seems like every day. I have to cope with exhaustion and terrible dizziness and have, at most, a couple of hours to work. Then I have to rest for the rest of the day. And quite apart from my health and the acceleration decline at every level, I feel surrounded by denial, not only of the freight train that is bearing down on us, but of the ideas and opinions I share. So it doesn't matter what it is, I upset somebody. There's something in the water or in the air. I really believe that. And I also feel that I've lost well-established friendships of 25 years because of opinions that I can't keep to myself. And then just a few weeks ago, I received a visit from somebody visiting my country and my city, someone whose ideas I've invested much of my time and energy in, and whom I have defended on many occasions against attacks. And I've spent more than one or two occasions just there listening to this person and his woes. So apart from being misinformed as to the date of arrival, I found this person, when they finally arrived, to be distracted, disinterested, and borderline hostile. And I'm still trying to work out why. I can only guess. This person buried their head in their cell phone to avoid having to communicate, and left without so much as a goodbye or even let alone a thank you. If I had more energy, more health, I'd be seething, I'd be experiencing a feeling of deep betrayal and anger. But I don't really have the energy for that. As things get worse and worse and worse, my approach has changed, and I'm looking for something to inspire or at least comfort me. And that's not from some nice sort of article about how many trees are being planted or kind of all the wonderful technical fixes. I don't find any inspiration from that. It's values that are becoming more important to me than information, although I doubt I'm ready to give up on my self-declared job of chronicling the decline of the human species and the destruction of its civilization. I've not been throughout my life a Christian, and I've always looked to Eastern wisdom for answers, and so my world outlook is still educated by that. However, I'm increasingly finding myself taking solace in our own Western traditions, especially as they're being thrown away by what I now regard as a highly deluded and even satanic influences. I'm increasingly finding that truth is not to be found where I had previously searched for it. Even if I can't find much love at the end of extinction, perhaps I can find some degree of acceptance. There's an increasing reality that we cannot find solutions for ourselves. In fact, that's actually what's led us into the situation that we've got, and we're doubling down on it. As a species, we've lost a concept of God and religion, which has provided a break, that's the only word I can find at the moment, for the worst excesses of human nature, even if, of course, we know that so many excesses have been done in the name of God. So if some of us feel we do not need God, that we can do it all ourselves, we all need a sense of something greater than ourselves, something greater than our own ego, even if that is a sense of wonder before the mystery of the universe and a realization of our own insignificance as individuals and as species. So as the world goes to hell in a handbasket, we need to get our spiritual house in order and to get right with the Almighty. And I think perhaps the most appropriate response is prayer and or meditation, just to get rid of the noise in our fucking heads. So these days I'm getting inspiration not from hopeful messages, but from people who speak their truth. And it may not be necessarily my truth, but it's truth nevertheless. Half the problem in our fucked up world is that we expect everyone to agree with everything that we say or think, and so we reject people who don't. Well, if we act on those assumptions, then that's the quick road to insanity in my mind. So I'm not able to make this video as I wanted to, so I will leave a link in the description box if I'm ever able to get this video out, of course, and you can have a look for yourselves. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. This is Seymour Rocks reporting from Down Under.